Have you ever climbed into bed feeling completely drained, hoping to finally collapse into sleep, only to find your body is ready, but your mind has suddenly snapped wide awake? You lie there in the dark as your brain starts running a highlight reel of everything you did wrong today. It replays awkward conversations, drafts tomorrow's to-do list, and rehearses future arguments. Psychologically, this happens because your brain is using its first moment of true silence. The second your physical body stops moving, your mind realizes it's finally safe enough to process the emotional backlog it was simply too distracted to handle during the noise of the day. Very little actually gets solved by a tired mind circling the same worry over and over in the dark. Without rest, the brain lacks the resources to find a resolution, often confusing the complexity of the problem with the depth of its own fatigue. There is a fragile, quiet space between being awake and finally slipping into sleep. It's a natural threshold we all have to cross every single night. Yet most of us rush straight through it. We fill that window with endless scrolling or one more show, using our screens as defensive tactics to avoid actually being alone with our own thoughts before the lights go out. To truly achieve deep rest, we have to stop fighting that quiet. We have to consciously slow down and yield to the threshold rather than rushing past it. Instead of fighting the racing thoughts, try observing what unfinished tasks you are still carrying. Don't chase them away, but don't try to solve them either. The unnamed burdens we refuse to acknowledge don't disappear. They follow us into sleep uninvited, manifesting as restlessness, shallow sleep, and a heaviness you wake up carrying the next morning. You can manage this by practicing postponement as wisdom. Acknowledge those lingering tasks directly, telling yourself you will think about them in the morning. By actively setting those tasks aside, you disconnect from them. You preserve them for a time when you actually have the energy to process them effectively. Choosing to leave these problems unresolved functions as responsible preservation. It keeps them intact for the morning when you have the clarity to face them, rather than depleting yourself further in the dark. Beyond practical tasks, we also carry an emotional ledger from the day. Think back over the hours you just lived through and look at your interpersonal mistakes. Maybe you snapped at someone or said yes when you meant no. You have to offer yourself forgiveness for those moments of irritation or procrastination. Punishing yourself with rumination while you try to sleep won't undo any of those actions. It will only steal the clarity you need to handle things better tomorrow. You can balance that emotional ledger through nighttime gratitude. Unlike morning gratitude, which looks forward at possibility, nighttime gratitude looks backward. It asks you to find value in the reality of the day exactly as it happened. Try to find one specific small mercy from your day. It might be a stranger holding a door, or just a quiet 10 minutes where nothing demanded anything from you. Most days are a mixture of difficult moments and small mercies. Accepting this imperfect, mixed reality is required to close the mental loop on today and finally find peace. Then there are the specific unnamed anxieties, fears about your health, about your relationships, or your future. Once daytime distractions cease, these fears take the opportunity to speak at full volume. In the dark, the mind's imagination projects its worst-case scenarios onto the smallest concerns, casting a massive, threatening shadow that often has very little to do with the actual reality of the problem. When morning arrives, a rested perspective inherently restores proportion to these distorted fears, shrinking them back down to a manageable size. Tonight, you can disarm that anxiety by addressing it directly. Say to it, quietly, "I hear you. I know you are scared, and we will look at this together tomorrow." Fear escalates when you try to ignore it, but it tends to settle the moment it feels heard, making quiet acknowledgement your best tool for disarming nighttime anxiety. While your mind has been racing, your physical body has been working just as hard. It carried you through every hour and every single physical effort you made today, mostly in the background of your attention. Notice where your body is holding tension right now. You might have a clenched jaw, your tight shoulders, or stiff hands. Your body is still braced for demands that are already over. Deliberately release that tension right now. Let your shoulders drop. Unclench your jaw. Let your hands go soft. True, deep rest simply cannot enter a body that is still holding its armor. The demands are done for today. Going to sleep asks for a form of surrender. It is an act of profound trust, letting go of the day as it was to allow for whatever comes next. It requires an existential leap of faith. You have to trust that the world will hold together while you relinquish your grip on managing it for a few hours. Tomorrow is a natural boundary. It is an entirely unwritten page, a fresh set of hours, and you don't have to carry today's burdens across that threshold. You are allowed to rest fully and completely. You don't have to earn it through a final burst of productivity, and you don't need today to have been perfect in order to deserve a peaceful night. You deserve this rest simply because you are human. You are tired, and you are trying. Close your eyes, let the day go, and allow sleep to finally, gently take you.